Hi, my name is Wyatt Hazel, and I will be going over Pioneer Sustainable Rebranding. What we love to do here is take this beautiful company, Pioneer, who has been around for quite some time, and just rebrand the packaging, make it compostable. So we'll start off with some statistics. So 71% of millennials feel positive towards companies only using compostable packaging. Globally, 68% of consumers prefer compostable packaging compared to any other packaging. And it is important to distinguish compostable packaging because between 19 and 68% of consumers prefer winning design over minimal due to easy recognizability. The winning design has 2 to 3 design elements that communicate compostability, whether these be the actual labels or if it's colors indicating or even the brand messaging. Brand equity and competitors. So this brand has been in business since 1851. Due to long-standing of the company, there is strong brand equity. There are a few ways that Pioneer can increase its brand equity. I see this just by more cutouts in the grocery store, or they could be more active on social media, have larger partnerships with other organizations. Some of their competitors are McCormick's, Heinz, and Campbell's. All of these competitors have also been around for quite some time, however, not quite as long as Pioneer. And then they have all also branched out of just a gravy mix as well as Pioneer. However, we'll just talk about the gravy mix. So the ad organizational system. So due to the size and lifetime of the brand, we choose centralized advertisements. The team would be more unified and have a common goal, which would be to sell Pioneer brand to consumers. Training would be easier to manage and course correct due to being one team. Retention is also better due to the employees seeing different pathways within the company that they can take to expand and grow. A disadvantage is typically it costs the most, and if the team is not unified, it can be noticed in the work. The ad agency type that is best for Pioneer is a full services account. The full services account is best for Pioneer because it is already a well-established brand, but has opportunities in the marketing department. The full service account would be able to design and handle all marketing needs of the company. It would keep it within one group that can continue to learn and expand on their knowledge to increase the attention and revenue of Pioneer through advertisement and several medias. We choose a cost plus agreement because it would put more on the line for the agency by having to document everything that they had spent. This would provide clear roadmaps to the campaigns that were run. From this point, the agency and Pioneer would be able to follow closely to see where they can spend less and where they can spend more in marketing campaigns. It also keeps the agency incentivized because there's more room for them to continue to make more profit. I chose direct marketing agency because this agency specializes in a lot of avenues, but mostly media. Media is a huge win in this day and age. Everyone has smartphones that are constantly feeding them ads from everywhere. The more we see an ad for a product, whether we are conscious of the ad, the more we will begin to see the product in a differing light. For the most part, ads cost money, which tells consumers that the product in the ad is somewhat successful. It also provides many other services like data analysis, research, and creativity with products. Even though most are compensated through the fee basis, the cost plus will help ensure that the data collected will be helpful to grow Pioneer. Consumer decision. So consumers are searching for more ways to be environmentally conscious. Consumers have a new need and want. In doing so, they evaluate purchases made and want to see companies take action on creating more sustainable products. Pioneer's packaging still uses a waxy coating on the outer layer of the packets, making them not compostable, but garbage. This continues to add to our global waste issue and can take years for the packaging to break down. The company should move to a compostable gravy mix packet similar to a flour or sugar sack. If they change their packaging, consumers would more likely choose their brand over others due to the sustainability. Consumers will be able to quickly make calls based on past experiences of what was needed to do with the packaging after the use of the gravy mix. Before they would know whether they put it in the compost bin or whether they had to just throw it directly in the trash. And then for an external explanation, will be able to Google search most sustainable gravy mix packaging. And with this new rebranding, we'll see Pioneer at the top of the list. So post-purchase evaluation, the favorable outcome is that the consumer creates a delicious meal using the gravy. There, if the consumer creates a delicious meal using the gravy, there's a high chance that the consumer will likely purchase again. This can also leave a great impression on the consumer and have them reflect on the good meal and experience. Some of the environmental influences with culture. So the gravy mix is considered to have originated in the 1880s in the United States, although gravy can be dated back as far as 1390. The gravy was used to help make meals more filling for those who did not have as much. Depending on how a consumer was raised, can lead to them using gravy packets versus making their own. Subculture, gravy mix packages are more commonly sold in southern states of the United States, therefore may have more of a variety and presence compared to northern states. Social class for quick and on-the-go additions to meals for families or individuals. Families and associated reference groups. The influence can come from a family member wanting gravy or a neighbor sharing a tasty treat. The situational determinant. Both usage and communication situations would be helpful in making the decision. Consumers will use when they want gravy with a meal. The communication situation can be heavily involved if a friend of the consumer highly recommended Pioneer Gravy Mix. It can also be heard through ads playing throughout media that catches the consumer's attention. Next, we'll go over the budget and benchmark. So the benchmark against current competitors would look at their sales of gravy mix packages versus our sales of gravy mix packages, the measurable KPIs to go after. So sales increase will aim for a 20% increase in sales volume within the first 6 months following the campaign launch. The growth in consumer awareness, a target of 30% increase in consumer recognition and positive perception of Pioneer Gravy Mix's compostable packaging within the same timeline. Duration, the campaign and its subsequent impact measurement will span 6 months from the day of launch. This allows sufficient time for the campaign to gain traction and for meaningful data to be collected and analyzed. Target audience, so demographic, families and individuals who are environmentally conscious and prefer purchasing sustainable products. This group typically includes middle to upper middle class consumers aged 25 to 45 who are often decision makers in their household. Geographic focus, initially target urban and suburban areas where environmental awareness is typically higher and where eco-friendly products are more commonly sought after. The promotional strategy, both rational and emotional appeals would be used to describe how the packaging is not adding to the garbage heaps, but instead is now compostable and better for the environment. Emotional appeal would be used because the product is quite old and many have been raised with it. Pioneer would start with comparison, then eventually move to straight sale. Pioneer Gravy Mix can start with comparing its gravy mix to other brands in a blind taste test and prove to the audience that their taste is the best. Then move straight to a straight sale to speak to the packaging and rebranding. In both ads, online, digital, and commercial, Pioneer would be able to speak to the new packaging and how it is better than competitors' packaging. In addition, this is where the comparison execution can take place, which could grab the attention of most while scrolling or channel flipping. If Pioneer had a collaboration with Pillsbury, this would be a great opportunity to have the Doughboy speak uh, because he's such a known figure. So for different print vehicles, or for different vehicles and media planning for print, we would use the Food Network magazine. For the broadcast vehicle, we would use Martha Stewart's podcast. Social media, we would go to Facebook. And then for support media vehicles, we would look at having commercials on the Food Network channel, as well as having Instagram ads. This is all due to being catered around the consumers that would purchase our ingredients. They would be looking at these different social medias and media vehicles, and then would see our new compostable packaging. The effectiveness and secondary marketing. One reason to measure the campaign is to avoid costly mistakes. It is important that Pioneer examines the sales after the rebranding and repackaging due to not wanting to lose the legacy over no sales. If sales do not increase, they will not have, if sales do not increase, they will have a redirect. They will have to redirect and find other solutions to grow the business. One reason to not measure the campaign's effectiveness is time. Trying to find the time to focus on the aftermath can be difficult because the brand will want to continue to try to make a successful campaign. However, it is important to look through testing to determine what went wrong and where there can be course correction. So the pre-test method would be a laboratory taste test. The post method would be a field test with an online survey. That way we could, so the beginning stages of the campaign would occur in a warehouse, but comfortable setting where consumers are able to taste test several gravy mixes, pick the favorite. The favorite, of course, would be Pioneer Gravy Mix, which is what takes the realism out of the question, but the target audience does not need to know that. This campaign will also give consumers a first look at the new packaging and explain the reasoning behind the compostable packaging. So the post-test with the field test, an online survey. After the product is launched, there can be a survey after each ad that plays online, asking the consumer to answer a few questions about the ad. At the end of the ad, the consumer can then be rewarded with a coupon for Pioneer Gravy Mix. So the secondary marketing campaign would be focused on the Philippines. The pulse, due to the increase of business and factories growing within the Philippines, it is the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing economies at the moment besides China, and they do have a good relationship with the US. So the possible cultural barrier could be the taste of gravy. What we could do to tweak the campaign is display ads on all the delicious homemade food that tastes great with different gravy mixes from Pioneer. This will help the consumer pair the gravy with their meals, especially if they are not used to the taste of the brand. The ethical implications and how to address it. So there is a strong religious presence as well as poverty. There can be ads that link sharing a family meal together, and the price of the gravy being affordable, even with the compostable packaging, will help go against these implications. Okay, on to the promotional ads. So we've come up with two promotional ads to share to highlight the campaign. So the marketing image for Pioneer Gravy Mix featuring the new compostable packaging has been created. The design incorporates an eco-friendly backdrop, visual cues emphasizing the sustainability of the packaging in a compelling slogan. This advertisement aims to resonate with eco-conscious consumers by highlighting the product's commitment and environmental responsibility. Flavor with compostable. So you see we have that it says it's compostable, it shows the compostable label as well as has green in the background and on the packaging indicating that it's compostable. And then another ad, promotional ad, we'd love to do a partnership with Pillsbury. I'm gonna have the Doughboy as our spokesperson. So this ad illustrates Pioneer's new compostable gravy mix packaging paired perfectly with Pillsbury biscuits, featuring the Pillsbury Doughboy as the spokesperson. The ad emphasizes sustainability with its design elements and encourages consumers to savor the flavor, sustain the planet. Okay, thank you for your time and support. It has been a great pleasure to promote this new update for Pioneer Packaging to go into compostable. A quick recap, consumers are looking for more than taste. They want sustainability. Ad organization is important to help support not only the funds, but the product. And then several media platforms will serve Pioneer well to get involved with: Facebook, Instagram, commercials. I would say, again, even cardboard cutouts at grocery stores can do wonders. Okay, thank you again. Have a great rest of your day.